Recently, I was watching a friend play Splatoon 3, and while I've never played a game in the series, I couldn't help but think, damn, this looks fun. So I bought the game. Little did I know, this would lead me down a difficult path with one goal, beating Splatoon 3, but if I die, my save file gets deleted. I booted up my stream on October 1st and started attempt 1. I designed an Inkling because giving each one a unique hairstyle and outfit just made every attempt feel all the more personal. I'd play through the introduction, reach Splatsville, and start hero mode. We begin our story in the crater along with Craig Cuttlefish. This area functions as an extended tutorial showing us small tidbits of things we might run into when we actually reach Alterna. The first level introduces enemies, the second focuses on swimming in ink, the third keys, and so on. I don't need to bore you with the details. The only real place anyone actually dies in Crater is this stupid walkway between the fuzzy U's, which I swear Nintendo put here just to kill people. Even the first boss, DJ Octavio, is stupidly easy. All you have to do is shoot his fist and occasionally throw a little bunny at him. Needless to say, I beat the fight on my first try and head into Alterna, where the game really starts. The first level we play is Get to Know Alterna, Your Only Choice, appropriately named for being the only choice as a first level. I would describe this level as being another disguised tutorial. It's really easy and has a ton of random mechanics mashed together like ride rails, propellers, and bounce pads. The only real way you could manage to die on this level is if you somehow walk off like an idiot. I collected the 3 keys needed to finish the level and proceeded on with the story. This opens us up to a variety of levels to pick from, and I decided to go with octopods at rest tend to flip out. There's no logic behind this decision, I just sort of picked it, and it's not like it really mattered much anyways because most of the levels at the start of the game are pretty easy. Here we're introduced to octopods who run at us and explode. They're pretty easy to stop with some ink and don't pose much of a threat here. I pick up some armor halfway through the level just to stay safe and immediately lose it, almost dying in the process. This is a pretty stark reminder of our mortality. Even on an easy level, one simple mistake could mean I have to start over from the very beginning of the entire game. Knowing the consequences, I couldn't take any chances. I continued on with Splat You on the flip side. Now at this point in time, I've maybe spent 5 total hours ever playing Splatoon, and I think it's starting to show because I almost died immediately. I need to stop. I need to chill a little bit. These are supposed to be easy levels. I decided to play through the rest of the level a lot more conservatively, but still managed to lose both the armor pickups due to taking too much damage. Fortunately, I still survived and can continue on with the story where we're introduced to Deep Cut's members, Shiver, Fry, and Big Man. They give some speech about treasure that I mostly ignore because the real treasure is already right there. We head into Site 2, labeled the Cozy and Safe Factory, that I can assure you is not cozy or safe. I decided to try Soak It To Me, a level themed around the soaker block mechanic. Basically, you have these little blocks that you can shoot with ink to make them extend. The only part I really struggled with here was the first sniper. He managed to get a shot on me, but I was able to hide behind a soaker block and survive. The rest of the level is just some soaker block platforming, which I swear is easy. Okay. Whoops. And another sniper that proceeds to kill little buddy. No, he killed him! Fortunately, this is permanent for me, not him. I'd get my revenge on the sniper and finish the level. The next stage was Swirling, Swirling, Whirling, where we have to move around rotating platforms. The only real issue I'd run into here is these annoying shield guys because my brain isn't big enough yet to realize that I can use a little buddy as a distraction to shoot him from behind. However, I still did manage to finish the level, which would get me just enough power eggs to reach the first real boss of the run. Before going into the fight, I'd get my first 2 upgrades, Special Charge Up and Small Fry HP Up. I didn't think these would help much during the fight, but I really should have gotten them earlier, so better late than never. I enter Fry's arena and begin the fight. Each phase we have to shoot the correct eels with ink so that they go flying back towards her. I accomplished this in phase 1 to get my first hit. She opens up phase 2 with the attack Moray Whirlpool, and it killed me. In retrospect, this death was easily avoidable, but oh well, time to delete my first save. Attempt 2 starts off just like the first. I play through the same set of levels, getting the same upgrades until I once again reach the Fry fight. This time, I know to go towards the center of the arena during the middle of the Whirlpool attack, which is enough to get me to finish phase 2. All that was left was phase 3, which introduces another new attack, Great Moray Transformation. Since I only needed one more hit, I knew to play it safe. And hey look, my special meter's ready. This shouldn't kill me. No, it did. No. Attempt 3, I made it into Alterna, but I couldn't really remember what levels I had been playing, so I ended up in doors, 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 and more doors. This level is by no means hard, but oh my god, it takes forever. You have to find a key, open a door, find another key, open another door, and then you have to get lost for a minute because you forgot where you were until you finally make it to the end, and I never want to play that level again. Oh my god, it sucks. I'd play through a couple more levels and make it to Fry for the 3rd time. By this point, I had a pretty good understanding of the fight. Phase 1 and 2 were a piece of cake, while Phase 3 took a little bit more time. Due to the more conservative playstyle I was taking, I struggled to hit every eel back during her attacks. Eventually, I did manage to get it and would finish the fight. Having beat Fry for the first time, I excitedly jumped down from her kettle and used my power eggs to open up the pipe to Site 3 Cryogenic Hope Town. There's no boss at this site, so my next goal was to grab enough power eggs and make my way over to Site 4. To accomplish this, I'd start off by playing Climbing the Corporate Splatter. This level was pretty focused on taking down Octarians. Technically, I didn't have to fight any of them, but when the risk was deleting my save, I was not going to take that chance. I collected all the armor I could, used specials when given the opportunity, and beat the level. Afterwards, I realized I was able to get a few more upgrades and opted for upgraded Hero Shot and Ink Resistance up. I then made my way all the way over to Ink Wheels, experience tomorrow's technology today. As the name implies, this level focuses on ink wheels and utilizing them for various tasks like creating cover or killing enemies. The level isn't that scary until we reach this point near the end where a couple of snipers are shooting at us, but since armor is busted, a mistake here doesn't end the run. I kill both of them and finish the level. As it turns out, these two levels provide enough power eggs to make it to Site 4. Splatoon 3 is not a game that cares much about completion when it comes to just reaching the end of the game. For Permadeath, this becomes a double-edged sword. On one hand, we're already making great progress through the game. On the other, I have basically no upgrades. This wouldn't matter much as I played through the next 2 levels, propelled to greatness, and let's put a pin in that, but it would certainly matter for bosses. I had made it to the Shiver fight. Compared to Fry, this boss battle is a lot easier. What we have to do is throw a little buddy into her Megalodon's mouth during certain attacks. This stuns the shark and lets us shoot at them until they're back in the water. We can repeat this again to knock Shiver off and get a hit. We can actually shoot the shark while it's swimming in the water, but I didn't want to take any unnecessary risks. It was a very slow fight because of this, but I did manage to finish it without dying. This gave me enough Sardinium to unlock some upgrades, and I opted for Suit Recovery Up. My logic here was that it could potentially save me if I fell into a tight spot. I traveled back to Site 3 and used my power eggs to open up Site 5 Eco Forest Tree Hills. I was starting to really struggle when it came to picking a level. The further you get into the game, the more consistently difficult each level becomes, but I eventually opted for simply Zipcastic under the assumption that a Zipcaster level couldn't be too hard. No way the Zipcaster level is a hard level that I'm gonna die on. There's just no way, right? Why does this scare me so much? Why does this scare me so much? Put me down, put me down. Final checkpoint. Okay, I just have to get up there. That couldn't possibly be hard. Oh. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. Why did I do this level? Okay. We're fine. We're fine. After that traumatic experience, I still needed to clear one more level to make it to Site 6. The obvious answer, another Zipcaster level. It is hard to express in words just how terrifying this was. I should have done the rail shooter level. For a level that's supposed to have you flying around like a superhero, I sure played like a bitch. And honestly, I think that made things worse. The amount of times I almost got myself killed because I tried to play safer is just ridiculous. By some miracle, I still managed to make it to the end of the level and earn enough power eggs to, no, I need more. I decided to play You'll Go Far If You Shoot Far. I played through the level slowly, taking out enemies, using Little Bunny to distract this sniper. Oh no, I don't have a little buddy. I made a mistake. It was fine though. I took down some more Octarians, climbed a tower at the end of the level, and reached the finish. I could finally travel onto Site 6, the Happiness Research Lab. The interesting thing about this site is we only need to clear one set of fuzzy U's to reach the boss, so one level would be more than enough. I opted for Torture Tour. We start in this box-filled area with Octotroopers hiding around every corner. I take them down and head into the next room, which contains one of the Gatling gun enemies and some Octohoppers. I use Little Bunny to take out the Gatling and get the rest myself. I grab the key, breeze through the next couple of sections until I reach the Octo Bombers. These have got to be my least favorite enemy in the game. I get close and take them all out, follow it up by getting the next key and clear the level. Nothing stands in the way between us and Big Man! Going to the fight, I decided to be honest with myself. There's a good chance I'm going to die at the hands of this strong, handsome man. I still wanted to give him my all though. The goal of this fight is to shoot the manta ray shadows until they break apart and then continue shooting them until they eventually disappear. One of these shadows will contain Big Man and let us get a hit. I start off playing cautiously, slowly defeating manta rays until I'm suddenly hit from behind by a wave attack. I try to cover using my special, but a bomb manages to kill me.
No! I thought I was far enough away! Gosh dang it!
The last 2 hours of work deleted along with my save file. Attempt 4, I would follow the exact same route as before, spending the next 2 hours regaining my confidence as I beat level after level until I once again met Big Man. Going into phase 1, I tried to be more aware of my surroundings than before, kiting the shadows while shooting them with ink. The strategy seemed to be working and I got my first hit. Phase 2, I did the same thing, spending most of my time running away while the shadows chased closely behind. I'd make it into phase 3, which took away the flat terrain I was familiar with. This made my strategy of constantly running away like a coward a lot harder. Little by little, I continued to chip away at the shadows, facing some experiences that were way too close to comfort.
No. Get me out of here.
I don't think I have ever spent longer on a boss fight than while fighting Big Man, but my strat worked. I spent 3 whole minutes on the last phase and it paid off. I finally cleared the fight without dying.
I think we got him! Heck you, Big Man!
This left one more area to finish, the Alterna Space Center, a series of 6 stages all with their own unique gimmicks. The first is Alterna Space Center Entrance, where we are stripped of our weapons and can only use the little bunny to progress. It's a super straightforward level that's very low risk and I beat it first try. I proceeded on with the Alterna Space Center Hangar. This stage focuses on using specials to progress, which honestly makes it another really easy one. Stage 3, Alterna Space Center Lift, is where things start to get genuinely difficult. We're given some armor and tasked with taking a lift down towards the base of the rocket. Meanwhile, enemies will hop onto the platform with us, forcing us to defeat them. During this section, I'm constantly using Little Bunny as a distraction to make each fight a little bit safer. The first lift finishes, and I make it to the second where I grab another stack of armor. I proceed to lose that armor as I reach the base of the lift because I'm not ready for the Gatling guns. I proceed down to the third lift, which is the scariest one yet because we have to fight Octolings. These enemies are terrifying because of their similarities to the player, but we can spawn camp them, so it's not too bad. The next level is called the Spirit Lifter Steerage, which forces us to climb up a long spiraling tower facing obstacles on the way. My biggest concern here isn't necessarily the enemies, but the fuzzy ooze lighting the pathway up. I eventually make it to this jump, which after over 2 hours of gameplay is the scariest thing I have ever seen.
Just make sure I get everything there.
No! Thank you, Splatoon 3. It's been about 4 days since I played Splatoon, but I'm feeling ready to go again. The last run where I reached the space station definitely made me feel confident that I could beat this challenge today. However, things did not start out so great. I'd lost attempt 5 to some weirdness and get to know Alterna. If I was going to be playing like this today, there was no chance I'd finish. Fortunately, I was able to pull myself back together and make it all the way back to the Space Center in my next attempt. The first couple of levels were a breeze and I didn't even lose my armor on the lift level. The only thing I was worried about now was that stupid jump. This time, I made sure to ink absolutely everything and went for it.
I thought I was gonna miss it again.
It is hard to explain just how nervous I was in this moment. I'd never made it this far, and there really shouldn't be anything that can stop me either.
No! I got knocked into it!
I mean, what's another reset at this point? Just forget ink rails and ride rails are different and die again. Or hey, maybe another death to fry would be fantastic. Oh, we haven't died to that stupid fuzzy ooze walkway at the beginning of the game yet. Wouldn't that just be hilarious? It was my 3rd day of attempts at this point, and I was starting to get tired. Playing through the start of Splatoon 3 is exhausting, and I don't really get to do anything interesting until I'm at least an hour into an attempt. And after all of that, I'd still get fucked by Big Man.
You're kidding me, he pushed me off. He pushed me off! Oh, that's so stupid.
I'd already lost 2 runs today to Big Man and decided I needed to rework my approach. Throughout the game, I had been largely ignoring most of the hidden item pickups, which was admittedly pretty dumb. The majority of them grant experience, meaning it's easier to level up and get better upgrades. Instead of going down the path of upgrades where I got Little Buddy Ink Saver, I wanted to try and get even better Hero Shot. I wasn't sure if this would work, and by the time I got to Big Man, I was getting close, but couldn't unlock it yet. I scoured the sites looking for cheap ooze to clear in hopes of finding more hidden items to get another level up. With just 127 power eggs left, I was able to get that last level I needed and buy the upgrade. I went into the Big Man fight and oh my god, this feels like a joke now. He is so much easier with an upgraded Hero Shot. I really should have realized this was the way to go sooner, but hey, I finally made it back to the Space Center. The first 2 levels here are still easy as ever, and that Hero Shot upgrade made the lift section pretty straightforward too. And just like that, we were back to the Spirit Lifter. Even though I've died twice in this level, I felt strangely calm. I've been here before, I just needed to do it right. I made the scary jump, dodged the Octoballers, and reached the Zipcaster section. I'm still traumatized by these things, but honestly, this isn't a very hard level. You just zip around collecting energy orbs while avoiding fuzzy ooze. The worst part doesn't come until the very end when we have to outrun an Octosniper, but even that isn't horrible. I'd clear the level, find Gramps dead, kinda, and meet Grizz, who'd fly into space with a rocket. This wasn't good, but fortunately through the power of friendship, music, and big men, we'd be propelled into space after him. A perfect summary of Splatoon 3. It was time for the final level. To reach Grizz, we'd have to collect the golden eggs to clear out fuzzy ooze, then to attack him, we'd have to use the same golden eggs to remove a fuzzball off of his body. Each time we did this, he'd hop further back on the spaceship where we'd be introduced to a trickier section of the level. Sometimes the ship would roll, or we'd have to do things like take out enemies, but I was prepared. I'd seen all of his tricks before. By the time I'd reached him at the end of the ship, all I had to do was avoid his attacks and go for damage.
That doesn't insta-kill, so I'm fine. All right, now we're on the final part of the final boss, and I might die here. I just need to not panic on that one part near the end where it gets really scary. All right, chat, let's do it. All right, chat, we've got this. All right. I'm playing this pretty well. I'm feeling confident. I think this next set of enemies is the one that scares me, usually. And I just got him super easy. You love to see that. Oh, no, wait, it's this one. Come on, just break his shield. Do it. Please, please. All right, chat. This is the moment. This is it. I think it's safe to stop the timer because we beat the game. That took way longer than I thought it would. Oh my god. I did not expect to spend 16 hours trying to beat this game without dying, but here we are. We did it. Before I end, if enough people subscribe from this video, I'll consider doing an all levels run of Splatoon 3 where if I die, I delete my save. And yes, I mean every level, including after Alterna. So please subscribe, and thanks again.